Pakistan came out to bat like they were on a business mission, but India came out and said they had their own business plan because they got Pakistan all out for 146 in the 19th over. Everything changed for Pakistan after that 13th over. Saibzada Farhan got 57, Fakhar Zaman got 46. They got off to a really good start, but then India put on those brakes and didn't let Pakistan come back in. Kuldeep Yadav 4 for 30 in his 4. We are back at Cricbuzz Live. I've got a very happy spinner, Karthik, and DK, who's very happy with the way India has gone about things. It was quite a comeback from India.
Absolute turnaround, isn't it? You and me were in the com box, and what was it, 84?
Yes.
Very similar to what happened the previous time. And one will have to say that Pakistan have once again frittered away the chances, squandered all the chances, or the start, if I can use that word, because the start was fantastic. Saibzada Farhan, 84, you would take it at this place in a final. But then once again, him getting out at the wrong time, and then Saim Ayub came, did play a few shots, but then one after the other, it was just a procession.
You know, DK, we spoke about it in our pre-match show. They're getting those starts. They got off to that start again. They had a decent power play, 84 for 1 after 10. And then they just collapsed and spiraled downwards. And how?
I think it tells you the quality of the spinners as well. Now, it takes a lot of character when door opens a little bit to find a way to just break it down and just get in. And that India have done really nicely. We went in with a very light bowling, Shivam Dube being our fifth option. He bowled a nice first over, followed it up with a couple of decent second overs. But the fact is that when they got the opportunity with the spinners, all they needed was 1 wicket, which Varun got at the start. Then it was Kuldeep who just ran absolutely havoc through that middle order, which has been abysmal through this tournament. And yet again, they, in trying to push the run rate and keep up or put enough pressure without the confidence or in a way the skill also that Saibzada Farhan had, have just in many ways, you know, done things which they needn't have to do because they played some absolute ordinary shots. It's okay to try and put pressure back on a bowler, but you need to back it up with certain skill sets, how you want to do it. And that I felt they didn't do really nicely.
You know, you said that they broke that door down because there were 5 wickets which fell in not even 6 overs. When we have a look at this ball by ball graphic, Karthik, just see between overs 13 to 17, there's so many of those red dots, 3 red dots in that 17th over, but a red wicket in every over from the 13th to the 17th. Kuldeep bowled the 13th and the 17th.
Yeah, absolutely amazing, isn't it? Just looking at the way they, the word you used was caved in. Yeah, absolutely. It was just literally handing back the advantage to India. In a way, again, it comes back to something which we did speak, and you did touch upon that. Their lack of middle order batting or lack of form in that middle order batting, and you match that up against the quality of the Indian bowling. And I think that has been a big difference. Yes, forget the Indian batting and the fact that so many of the batters haven't gotten a decent gig. But just the way those spinners literally throttle you down, I think that makes a huge difference. Varun Chakravarti, Akshar Patel, all of them very different, all of them very varied. Kuldeep Yadav with all his skills, Varun Chakravarti with his inimitable style, just goes about his business. He's like literally stone-faced. There's nothing which comes out of him, whether he gets a wicket or not, very much in the Sunil Narayan mold. And then the fact that they come one after the other pretty quickly at you. And if you're losing wickets and you still have to have a go at them, it becomes doubly difficult. And I think that's where India is pretty good with their spin bowling attack. Not to forget all the others who are sitting outside and can't make the team. But really well done. I think you do know that the opposition have also come into play. But the fact that you have this comeback ability in your bowling lineup, I think India is very, very blessed that way.
Well, you spoke about stone-faced Kuldeep. PK, we'll talk about him in a little more detail because 4 overs, 30 runs and 4 wickets. What does one do to play Kuldeep? We spoke about it in the pre-match show. They're not picking him. Like you said, maybe they're lacking skill, the Pakistani batters. But 17th over, 3 wickets, he's just completely eaten up the batting, Pakistani batting.
Don't get fooled by that graphic. He was 2 overs, none for 23. Now, you can ask any spinner. That means they've obviously taken him down in that first spell of his, which he bowled in the 7th and 9th over. But the greatness of a bowler is seen when you get hit, how do you react to it? And that's what he showed on the 13th and 17th over. That's why he is so liked by a Rohit Sharma and today by a Gautam Gambhir and a Surya Kumar, because he has wicket-taking ability. And when he gets a wicket in an over, he's not getting one, he gets three like he did now. It doesn't happen always, but it tells you the mindset.
Yes.
Because when he's bowling that 17th over, after he's got the first wicket in the first ball of the over, the beauty lies in trying to strike again, which he is able to do. Did they play ordinary shots? Maybe. But he made them play it because they weren't able to read him. And that is where we need bowlers like Kuldeep who are able to put pressure because they are not sure which way the ball is turning, what shots to play against him. Saeedzada Farhan actually took him down. He played beautifully against him. But the moment he got that opportunity, first wicket in the 13th over, and then he was held back. Akshar bowled beautifully, even though he's not bowled at his best in this tournament. He came back, he struck again, and he came back in the 17th over, Kuldeep Yadav, and did his thing. 3 wickets in an over, outstanding.
You know, DK is talking about that mindset of coming back. I'm sure you face it as well. Kuldeep, we saw Surya putting his arm around Kuldeep. He, like you said, stone face, wasn't showing too much expression, but he's someone who clearly knows how to calm himself down in spite of getting hit.
Look, I think that is one of the prerequisites, if I can say, in T20. You leave your ego at home, sometimes you have to leave your emotion at home, and sometimes you need to have a memory of a goldfish. Just forget what happened. I think if you can't do that, then you actually are in a fine place, because the action is so frenetic. If you've gone for runs, do you have the ability to just bounce back? And I think that is the biggest ability a bowler can have in this format. Forget what happened. Forget this is that my analysis is this. What can I do here on? And I think that is what actually differentiates between a very good bowler and an average T20 bowler. And look, you've got all the skills. And if you look at those 2 overs, he pulled 2 bad deliveries. One was a drag down, and he overcompensated with a real full delivery, which got smacked for a 6. So what did he do after that? He just came back to being a Kuldeep Yadav. Yes, he was helped to a certain degree by bowlers at the other end as well, who are doing the same job for you. But the most important trait is to forget. Forget, move on. Look at the situation. What can I do going forwards?
You're talking about the bowlers on the other end, because the spinners were really having a field day today. 8 wickets between the Indian spinners. Akshar getting 2, Kuldeep of course 4, and Varun Chakravarti 2. Jasprit Bumrah went and got those 2 wickets, but just the spinners and how lethal they've been, DK, today.
Credit to Gautam Gambhir and Surya Kumar Yadav to have the courage to keep playing 3 spinners across bilaterals and continue that in Dubai. Actually, in Dubai, it might be an easier decision to make because of how much the wicket helps the spinners. But bilaterals, they're doing this consistently, where they're playing 3 spinners, giving them 12 overs. They're playing with Hardik and the other fast bowler. It was Arshdeep most cases in bilaterals. But when you have Bumrah around, I guess it's a no-brainer.
Apart from Bumrah, I'll pick 6 more spinners.
and that's a very interesting one, because not many teams like playing so many spinners, and also not many teams have such quality spinners. And again, you got to give credit back to IPL for throwing in such new talents, young talents, consistent talents. And Varun is someone who's just been here for about 3-4 years now, but he's dominated world cricket. He's #1 in the world in T20 rankings, and he's replaced someone who's #1, Ravi Bishnoi, which tells you the quality of bowling and spin department we have. And credit to all the bowlers, because you just give them a little bit of an inch and they are all over you like a rash, and they make it hard.
And before that was Yuzi.
Yes.
Yuzi was, I still rate him as, along with Kuldeep. In terms, I look at things from a very spinner's point of view and how they operate. Yeah, T20 spin bowling is very different, but just from a penetrative impact, what Kuldeep has, when you need it. There is a defensive bowling and there is an attacking bowling. Kuldeep and Yuzi had both. They can pick wickets, they can be defensive as well. But there are certain bowlers who have that defensive mindset, and I think that is why I picked the 2 of them as being very separate and more influential in a game. The others do play a part, yes. Don't get me wrong. All the others are all byproducts of the T20 format, and they're all playing a part. But when you look at these 2, it was a nice coinage, Kulcha, but unfortunately, it's not a partnership anymore.
Yeah, Kulcha's, love
it is
talking
still
about
Kulcha, but it's just Kuldeep and Chakravarti now.
Yeah, it's a good one. Well done.
Yes.
Well done.
Done.
Yeah.
But,
Kulcha, it's still Kulcha. Well done. Why didn't we think of it?
Well done, DK. But the spinners were all over the Pakistan batters today. They started off really well, Fakhar Zaman and Saib Farhan. And then after that, just look at that scorecard, 14 and then just single-digit numbers. Pakistan are not going to be happy when they look back on the scorecard. But just a little bit on Fakhar Zaman and Saib Farhan. You know, DK, we were talking about it. They were racing down the track. They were trying to use their feet against Bumrah. Even Kuldeep, that 1-6 against Akshar as well, they were using their feet. Why didn't the rest of the batters follow that?
To be fair, rest of the batters actually use their feet, but the only thing is they're hitting it 6 to 8 straight up, and that is what skill is, Saimi. The fact is that they've played 3 overs of pace bowling, and when they come on to play the spin, they're playing it in a very attacking way, using their strengths. Now, as a middle order batsman, when you go in, and we discussed this yesterday or the day before, it's one thing opening the batting and then getting to play spinners when you're batting well. Another one completely different when you have to walk in and start playing spin. You need to respect the conditions and what the bowler is doing. If you come in with a preconceived notion of this is how I want to play because I want to get to this score, you might be getting ahead of yourself. And that's what happened to Pakistan. You could see they wanted to be aggressive. So the intent is good, but you got to add a little bit of brains and responsibility to that and say, okay, on this pitch, what can I do using my strengths? It's not like I want to
lost so many wickets. Just kind of check where you are, right?
Check also in T20 cricket would mean playing positive, but the check needs to be in a way where you understand what shots you can play. Not like, okay, Kuldeep, I'll step out on it.
Yeah.
Everybody is just doing that. You are not putting pressure using your strengths. You're playing shots that you believe will just get you out of jail. That's not the way you can do it at international cricket, and that's why Pakistan middle order have actually found it hard through the middle, and for that matter, a lot of teams in this tournament, more so Pakistan, because they've done it consistently. Their middle order between 3 and 6 have given them nothing.
Yeah.
You can say Hussain Talat gave them an odd inning, Mohammad Haris gave, but I'm talking about consistency. As a middle order group, they have given very little to this Pakistan team. They were constantly looking at 180, 190, 200 instead of seeing, kya pitch hai, kya dal raha hai, what should I do? These are the 3 questions that they need to be answering, not just looking at what the end point is and trying to reach it there in a hurry.
Well, they have been kulchaxed.
I'm sure you're going to be using this in the future a lot, and then you'll be thinking of DK.
Yeah.
But like we're saying, from that 3, 4, 5, 6, the middle order, no one's doing anything. The top order, thankfully for them, got going today again.
Yep.
And they were complementing each other very well. So in the dressing room, they'll at least want to think of the top order, this partnership of 84 runs that they put on.
Yeah, that is the only positive. When you look at it, that is the only thing which has been working well for them. And when you look at the run getters, it's not about the fact that they opened, but they've also done reasonably well. It's interesting because when Sahibzada Farhan got out, I think Fakhar Zaman was on 23 or 25 of 20 deliveries. So he was playing second fiddle. He was in the back seat. It was not as if Fakhar Zaman was on overdrive. But the most important thing is recognizing the situation. And I think that is where they've been found wanting, especially against India. I can understand all the other emotions coming into play. You already have a preset score in your head. But again, as DK pointed out, one is skills. Second is to have a game plan pertaining to that condition, to that situation. You can't just think, oh, this is what we have decided and this is what I'm going to come and do. You can't take the bowler for a fool. Yeah. Those 3 guys are very crafty bowlers. And I think that is where they've been found wanting. I understand it's a lack of loss of form, lack of form in the middle order. But again, they could have thought about or reworked their equation and said, listen, okay, maybe not 180, given the start we have. We've lost a couple of quick wickets. We did try going hard. It has not worked. It has been counterproductive. What do we settle at? Rather than going all guns blazing and getting out.
Well, good news for India is that the spinners really ran through the Pakistani batting. But I have some good news for all the Cricbuzz viewers as well. The good news is that the Cricbuzz app that you all love so much is going ad-free. If you subscribe to it today up until midnight for 99 rupees, then you get an ad-free year, which I think is a steal. So I think you all should quickly in this break go and subscribe up until midnight today for 99 rupees if you all want to grab this offer. But DK, coming back to the offer that India has to go and put forward now when they go, they've seen how Pakistan have batted. A few reckless shots, the least to say. They were trying to be very aggressive. We spoke about how Abhishek probably goes, warms up and then comes out to bat, but he goes hard from the word go. Can we expect the same, or they're going to take it a little easy?
He should do the same. It is his best version of himself, and he's able to definitely put pressure against good bowlers, and he's doing it consistently. He doesn't need to change anything. If it's meant to be, it's meant to be. He needs to believe that. He's got a game plan which is very effective because it is fueled by what he is good at. You know, where he looks at the field, if he sees no one on the offside, he steps beside the line, uses the pace on the offside. If he sees no one at deep mid wicket, he gets inside the line, picks it up. So there's method to it, madness. And you need to appreciate that.
Yes.
And if he does get out, it's fine. If he's gone through the same gears, if he does something different because it's a final, because it's a low score, then he's not being true to his game. I would like Abhishek to do the same, and the rest of the batters to understand what the situation is. Situational awareness is all it takes to win a game like this. Two partnerships, done. There's not much Pakistan can do. First thing would be to obviously put pressure back on Shaheen Shah Afridi, and then through the middle, Abrar Ahmed. These are the two big challenges that they have. If they're able to counter it nicely with good solid shots, I'm sure India will have a very comfortable victory.
I would like to think he's already under pressure, given what happened. Shaheen Shah Afridi is already under pressure against India, because his performance in this tournament, at least, when you look at what he has done against India vis-a-vis the others, is chalk and cheese. And again, as DK said, you don't want to, the last thing you want any player to do is second guess yourself. And I think you don't want that from anybody.
But you know, Karthik, you've spoken about Shaheen Shah Afridi. He has found his rhythm again, so has Haris Rauf, picked up those wickets. But we've seen that the Pakistani spinners surprisingly have just come out and surprised everyone else as well, because their numbers of the Pakistani spinners, when we have a look at the numbers here, they are the second most after India in terms of wickets. When you talk about even the average, second best after India. When we talk about the economy, second best after, so the dot ball percentage also second best after India. So do you think they have outdone themselves in this Asia Cup? Because with Pakistan, you say Pakistan, you think of pacers. Yes, they have obviously had greats with the spinning department as well. But when I say outdone themselves, it's because we have seen Afghanistan, we have seen the spinners that India have. Are you surprised with the way the Pakistani spinners have gone about?
Look, I would be surprised given the fact that you look at the quality on show in Asia Cup. Obviously, we did that piece as well. India is number one. And everybody, and many of our cricketing pundits thought that it was Afghanistan, given what they had. But sometimes it's not about what you have on paper, but what you do. And Abrar has been one of the most economical bowlers. They have not used Sufyan Mukim, I think, beyond a couple of games. But Mohammad Nawaz came into this tournament with some reasonable form. And at the end of the day, again, it is about being aware of where you're bowling, what can you do given those conditions. And I think they've been pretty good, Abrar, and the way they've been used. And also, again, comes back to the same point, which I always make. Spinners are intelligent. You just don't think that spinners are not intelligent. Wherever they come from, they're intelligent.
Well, there are intelligent spinners, but Haris Rauf also will need to be a little intelligent today, because he's again found his rhythm. He didn't start off the Asia Cup, but he was pretty quick, coming on the batters very quickly, 140 plus clicks. He was bowling the slower ones, getting those wickets with the slower ones, but he was also leaking those runs there, DK. And we know Indian batters like that pace on. So how do you think he's going to mix things up today?
For him, for somebody who's skiddy, I think the key is going to be length. Because when he gets length wrong, people who generally try to skid on the bat, you can use your pace nicely. If going over 140, you have such a good economy, that means when you do bowl quicker, you're able to land it slightly fuller and hit a length that is probably troubling the batters in trying to score runs, which mean anywhere between hip and the knee, and they're not getting control of the shots. The slower ones, obviously, people are not getting deceived enough. Now, sub 140 is a big varied area for us to speak with. If it is 138, again, that's normal pace. He's not bowled the quickest ball. But if it is 120 or 180, that means he's bowled a slow one. So we need to split that up even further. But the fact is that if he's bowling quick, it tells you that he's in good rhythm. And when he is in good rhythm, he's able to get the ball in good lengths. So his run-up is so key for him, because he has such a short jump, or rather he literally hustles through the crease. For him, that part of his action is very important. He is not somebody who bowls no ball, because he bowls from so far behind. One of those few bowlers who doesn't bowl close to the bowling crease. So he's got He's made sure that he doesn't bowl a no ball, but what he has always worked on is run up and rhythm. He's a very rhythmic kind of bowler. So when he gets his action and his run through correctly, he's able to obviously bowl that much fuller and trouble, not really full, but between the 6 and 8 meter mark and hit the top of the bat. And that is why he's been efficient. His biggest skill is obviously bowling through the middle and even more at the death. In the power play, he's gone for runs. And if somebody is going for runs in the power play consistently, that means you're not consistent with your line or length somewhere. But I think he's improved in this Asia Cup in the power play phase. He's not been challenged so much at the back end because the games have not gone that deep. But overall, he's a very talented bowler. He's made the run purely because of his skills that he's shown in PSL and in BBL for Melbourne Stars. He's a very excitable bowler. He goes for runs but always gets you wickets.
We're talking about rhythm. He's found his rhythm, but we haven't found our rhythm today with our predictions.
I'm happy. I'm happy I'm very happy as an Indian supporter and an Indian fan. I'm very happy that they didn't reach our predictions.
Your predictions go, but now if you want to have a second chance,
I'm not. Okay. Okay, let me go first. What am I? I'm only going to lose 6 overs. I am going 55.
63.
Wow, DK is going to finish this off very quickly. 55, 63. I am going to be close by. I'll go with 54 because that was the strategy that Karthik wanted to adopt.
But I was using it because you were good, not me. I have been woeful.
Okay, I'll go with 56.
No, now you can't change.
I'll go with 56. 56, 55,
Committee doesn't approve.
And 63 are the scores that we have.
What did I say?
55.
Okay.
50?
55.
55. 50.
Can I change also?
Go
57.
Are you sure? Is this the final answer?
Lock.
56, 57, 63. Producers, please let's engrave this and write it in stone because it can't change now.
And I'm pretty sure Mr. Bhogle is watching it because he's thinking of his scores and where he's going to finish on the table. I'm pretty sure he is looking at this match even more keenly than he ever does.
He is. It is a first ball lot. That doesn't mean we can change anything. So I think we should go quickly watch that match. We will be back at the 10 over point at the Cricbuzz Combox. So do join us there. Thank you for watching Cricbuzz Live.